moving on to the final thing of the night, we are going to have a new edition of the Panic Meter. Obviously, this year, as I said, we are doing it a little different with different graphics of team situations that kind of range on the panic meter. So this week we have new situations. Obviously, we have the Browns and Deshaun Watson all the way at the bottom on this week. Then above them, we have the Cowboys, who are a mess as well at the moment. Then kind of mediocre, the Jets now with Adams. Is that going to work? Is that not going to work? Those type of teams. The Bills getting Amari Cooper, could that boost them, or will that, not change them much? Then on the good side, the Lions, who are looking very strong, and then obviously the perfect Kansas City Chiefs, where everything is perfect in the world. First team up, we have Ernie. He's lost 3 in a row. He's got a big matchup versus Matt, who's also trying to get a win. We've already mentioned, will he nuke it possibly if he loses this week? So what are we saying Ernie's panic should be? Cheese, you want to start?
Ernie, I think he's like in the middle. I think he's at the,
So the
yeah,
Jets, the Bills, what?
I think he's at the Bills. I'll give him the Bills.
Okay, so solid team, and now they're
Because his
adding.
team is not bad. He's just like, he had 108, then like 120, and then like obviously this week was bad for him.
Hmm.
But it's not, I think he has plenty of pieces to maneuver with.
Okay.
Um, like if he trades Tyron, he can get a great wide receiver.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
So he needs to make a trade, similar to how the
I think
Bills
I
have
think he
made a
needs to
trade.
nuke one of his wide receivers
Okay.
or his
That's a
running back.
very
Sorry.
good comparison because Ernie's team is wide receiver short. The Bills were a little bit wide receiver short, and they went and traded for a wide receiver. Will Ernie do the
I mean,
same?
I just think if he he gets rid of say like Kamara or Kyron, and he gets let's just say Zay Flowers and plus somebody else in there, it's looking a lot more.
Okay.
Or someone at that level. I think he's still. I don't think we're worried. Definitely a
Okay.
playoff team.
All right. Rat.
I agree with the Amari Cooper and Bills. Like you said, they went out and got some. Like he has Tank Dell, Lad McConkey. They're solid wide receivers like Shakir
Yep.
comparison. They
Hmm.
went to go get Cooper, and that's what Ernie needs to do. He needs to go make a trade, get a another
Okay.
one to level the team up, and they'll
Okay.
be moving on up. But I wouldn't. He's nowhere
Hit it
near
too hard.
Army
Okay.
or anything. Yeah.
All right. Tyler.
I've been paying attention. What are we on?
We're doing Ernie.
Panic meter for
Ernie's
Ernie.
team for Ernie.
Oh, yeah, like I said, he's in free fall right now.
Free fall.
He's
Wow.
maximum
So
panic.
Cowboys level free fall or Browns level free fall?
Whatever is worse.
The Browns, obviously. What?
Browns.
Wow. That much of a free fall for Ernie. Did you pick
Yeah, he's
Ernie to win this week against Matt? Oh, no, you picked Matt. Right. Okay. Interesting. I'm definitely putting him in the Bills category because I agree with what we were saying. Whoops. What did I just do? Yeah. Bills category. I think that suits his team pretty close. All right. Moving on to the next team. We have Zombie. Um, Zombie, he has lost a game last week as his team looked pretty bad. He does, have still a 4-2 record. He does play Cheese though this week, so he has a potential to lose another one in a row. He does have a lot of players coming back though. So should Zombie be worried at all? Should he not? I'll go first. I'm gonna put Zombie at the Lions category because I think if all those wide receivers are back fully healthy, and I know the Lions are a ground and pound team, but I think Zombie with those wide receivers could look unstoppable like they looked against the Cowboys this past week. So I don't think Zombie needs to worry too much now that he gets these wide receivers back. I think he's definitely a playoff team with the roster that I see with those wide receivers. Rat.
He's a Lions guy. Sadly, I have to give
Okay.
him credit.
Wow, you're giving him
Um,
some credit. Okay.
I don't think he's the best team, but like,
Yep.
yeah, he's up there to compete and maybe win it. He
Okay.
has the chance, but we'll see
Hmm. Okay.
down the road.
Cheese.
I think he's also Lions. I
Okay.
think the Lions are better than the Chiefs, to be honest. That's where
Really? Well,
The
one's
Chiefs-
undefeated and the other's
The
not.
Chiefs have played a lot of bums, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah.
One's have won back-to-back Super Bowls too. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta until you knock
Look,
them off. they're up there.
Zombie's a very solid team. I think the only concern for him is there's a lot of injury proneness over there. Cooper
Okay.
Kupp has been hurt a lot. Aaron Jones gets hurt a lot. And his two wide receivers are both had concussions,
Okay.
so they're more likely to get concussions again. Or they're going to risk it. Teams are going to take more risks with them, I would think, if they get hurt again. So I think when healthy, very, very solid. Just the injury risk is there.
Okay.
And I don't know, Brees Hall, I don't know. Because with Devontae Adams could just suck up all the targets.
Okay. Interesting.
But, I think it's a very solid playoff team.
Sound a
for
little
sure.
more pessimistic there than optimistic.
Well, I just think, look, I think it's a very solid team if everybody's healthy.
Okay. Well, you could say that for almost everybody's team. But
But he's had this, Cooper Kupp has been like.
all right. Well, we'll do your injury report next week, and you can
Next
tell
week
us.
will be the
I don't
injury
think
report.
Zombie's injuries have been as many as he's
No,
trying to make
look,
it.
next week will be the halfway through injury report.
Okay. Tyler, I have a feeling I know. I think you said earlier. What's Zombie's level of
He's-
panic?
He's the Jets.
The
They're in mid.
Jets. Oh, okay. In the middle? I thought you were going to put them Cowboys. Okay. In the middle. Moving on to the third team this week. We have obviously Matt. One of the 1-5 teams playing Ernie, so maybe a chance for a win. He could, if he can get a win this week somehow, then with the other two 1-5s playing each other, that'd be a big boost to him in the standings. But overall, this lineup this week not looking great, as we already mentioned on the preview. I'm going to stick Matt at the moment in the Dallas Cowboys. I think his team just he has like a good player in Diggs and Henry. Henry kind of, I guess you could say, is his CeeDee Lamb type player. But then the rest of the team around it, it's just not that great. It's just not great on the flex spots. Not great in his
DJ
second
Moore,
wide receiver.
DJ Moore solid.
Yeah, DJ Moore, but it's on a bye this week, which hurts him. I just don't see a lot else there in other spots for Matt. His quarterback is a disaster, I guess you could say, like Dak Prescott. So I'm going to put him in Cowboys, but not Browns. I think he can get a few more wins this season and keep himself out of it. I don't know if he's going to go on a run, though, like Bill did last year to make the playoffs. Chiefs.
I would put him directly in between the Cowboys and the Browns.
Ooh, okay, so a little bit lower than me.
I just think that, like, yeah, I agree. He has some good players. It's just he needs a lot to go right to win every week.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
Okay.
Mark Andrews, like he had a good week, but he could put up 0 again. Right?
Okay.
And then the Colts, I actually was gonna go all in on the Colts during the draft, but I pivoted. He's
Well,
kind
good
of
thing
like
you didn't.
I think he's like just been unlucky. I think he's made moves this year. He's been active.
Mhm.
I just think he got very unlucky with some of these players he picked.
Yes. And I
'Cause, like,
will
if-
I will give Matt credit. I did message him yesterday asking him what he thought of an offer I was going to offer him, and he did respond and say he would do the deal. So he did respond. That's way better than what last year. Last year I would have sent that and never got a response back. So
I
credit
just
to
think
Matt.
that like if the Colts were balling, he'd be a lot better position. He's just got unlucky investing in the Colts.
Okay.
I just think going forward, like it's just too like, because like right now he has like maybe one player out and his team looks not good.
Okay.
Like one of his starters out.
Mhm.
Like maybe Gus Gus didn't do anything.
No.
So like that's the issue. Like you put in,
I think the
you
issue
know,
is he drafted some guys that at the beginning of the season people thought would be something, and they've turned out to not be
now
much.
I think he
Like
can. I
Coleman
think
has been the one rookie that hasn't shined. Gus
yeah.
Bus has not shined. Like he's got.
I never
some
liked the
hasn't
Addison
shined.
pick, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I think he could trade Henry and maybe get a solid return.
Yeah.
At least that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I have tried on that. I'm like, well,
I would trade like I
He's
would do
gonna
like a
need
two,
to get a lot for Henry.
a 2
though, if
for
he's gonna
3
give him
maybe or
up.
something.
I said
He's gonna need to
quarterback,
get a lot.
running back, and plus.
Okay.
But it's just I think it's just like too little. Like
All right.
his stars are good, just the rest of the team is just very below average.
Okay. Tyler.
He is like Jacksonville. Bad but not hopelessly
Jackson.
lost.
Okay,
yeah.
so above the Browns. Are you putting Jacksonville worse than the Browns, or the Browns worse than Jacksonville?
Jacksonville is definitely better than them.
Okay, so a glimmer of hope. So kind of where Chiefs put them. Okay, Moving on to the fourth team, we have Slaps, of course. We have to have Slaps in on the panic meter. There's been so many comments this week already about poor Slaps' team. It's probably a good thing that he wasn't able to make it to Florida this past week to be at the show this week, or else he'd just be getting dogged all night having to defend his team. But if he could somehow pull off a win this week against Tyler, it boosts him a lot. I don't think he's going to get that win against Tyler, so unfortunately I got to put him all the way down at the Browns, as this is getting very, very bad, and it's going to get even worse if he loses this week to Tyler, which I probably think he will. So I'm putting him there. Cheese.
Put him at the whatever the below. Take the arrow off the map.
Below the Browns? Oh my
Take the arrow
God.
off the map.
I mean, if he wins this week, it can't be below the
Take the arrow
Browns.
off the map.
It can't be below if he
Look,
wins.
my
He's
issue
still
with
got a
Slaps
chance.
is like if he can make a trade, he could do it, but his values are just ridiculous at the moment. So
Yeah,
I
but
just
what,
can't see
what
him
trade
making
can he make though?
like let's say Marvin Harrison
All his better players have issues.
I know, I'm just saying, let's say Marvin Harrison comes out next week. Banger week. There's value there.
Yeah, but that has to happen first.
Or you can even trade for bulk and just get like a bunch of like lower tier like bulk guys.
I don't know if he tried, but after Ayuk had that big week, he should have tried to trade him. I don't know if he did or not.
He's trying to get literally all of my players, and like he doesn't understand all of his players are worse than all of my players.
See, the thing was, I disagree with you on that. I think I think the only trade he should be doing right now is a small one like he did with the Downs one. He needs to try to find little ones like that and hope that he hits on the guy.
I think he can trade Laporta.
I think he needs to get rid of Kirk for something that's, small, but maybe has the potential to do something. He needs to try to find those guys. He can't trade Harrison right now. He can't really trade Laporta right now. I mean, he could trade Burrow, but it's a quarterback. So nobody's going to give up that much.
I just think that
trading is the answer for him.
When healthy and active, his wide receivers are okay.
But he needs them to be healthy, and he needs them to perform.
Yeah, I think the issue is that his running backs are not good, or at best inconsistent. I would say inconsistent. More inconsistent.
I disagree. I think his running backs are okay. They're not studs. They're not going to put up 20 plus, but they can get you 10 to 15.
But
his wide receiver core is the problem. Ayuk is a bust this season. Kirk is horrible. Like, Laporta's been very inconsistent, and he needs Harrison healthy. If all that is putting up 5 points a week, it doesn't matter what running backs he has. He needs better wide
There's just like a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems.
Well, yeah, but
I don't know how he's going to fix it.
I mean, he needs some guys to have some good performances.
I think if he kept A.J. Brown, because he lost the games anyway. He didn't win any games trading A.J. Brown away.
Yeah, he should have.
And A.J. Brown comes back, his life's looking a lot more solid.
Yep, I agree.
Because it's not like he traded A.J. Brown and stacked up a couple wins.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the trade? It was Zeke, who's ass.
Listen, all those weeks he was trying to trade with me, he was saying, "Oh, I have to win now," and he didn't want to wait for A.J. Brown to come back. And I kept telling him, "So you're gonna trade A.J. Brown on a low, and not get enough," and then he still lost the week.
Here's what happened also with that A.J. Brown trade. He waited 2 weeks. A.J. Brown went through 4 weeks. He waited 2 weeks and decided at the last second, let's go get rid of him. He could have just waited that 2 more weeks. I don't know why he didn't. It was either you trade him right away or you never.
Yeah, you either got to do it immediately so you get those players in your lineup.
Yeah.
If your stream ended.
Slash management is the Browns. I mean, they haven't bought absolutely shit, but I think that they can go a tier below and say it was this year's Chicago White Sox. I don't think Slaps is.
Looking at the trade, he traded A.J. Brown, White, and Flowers. Flowers and White have some solid, not always.
Yes, they've had good games ever since he traded.
They've had good games.
I agree with Cheese though. It's below. It's White Sox level.
If you're gonna make that trade,
bad.
If you're gonna trade A.J. Brown, you do it the second he's hurt for multiple weeks. You trade him the very first week, because you got to get those new guys in your lineup and bank up some wins if you're letting go of A.J. Brown.
Yeah. I agree. That trade is the one that has not been good.
That's why I'm not trading Achane, because I waited enough. I'm gonna wait till 2 is back. If I was gonna trade him, it would have been the second.
Rat's putting him at White Sox level panic, where he
He's
breaks
just
I
the
might put him at
records.
Phillies panic. It's bad.
But
at least
the
the Phillies at
make the
home.
playoffs.
The Phillies at home.
Okay. All right, Tyler. Any panic level for slaps? Assuming you win this week, I guess.
Anything other than the maximum panic is a bad take.
Okay, so White Sox level. Alrighty. And the final team of this week's Panic Meter. Obviously, we got to go with the other team in the toilet bowl. That is here tonight, Tyler at 1-5 against Slaps. I already asked Tyler a bit ago if he somehow loses this week to Slaps, what is the level of panic? But what is it being, assuming he wins or assuming he loses? I'm going to put Tyler in the Jets category because I think there's some hope there for some of his players. I think the Amari Cooper trade is a big boost to his team going forward. It's kind of like the Davante Adams trade to the Jets. Now there's a new form of hope for the Jets, although they still are an ass team by record. Jets are under 500 by record, and they don't seem to ever pull out the close game. The question is, could Tyler get on a big run, just like could the Jets get on a big run going forward and stack a bunch of wins? I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see. So I'm going to put him at the Jets category. Rat.
I'm gonna put him between Dallas and between the Browns.
Ooh,
I'm
okay,
gonna
so
say the
more
Carolina
pessimistic.
Panthers.
Carolina Panthers. Ooh,
I'm gonna say they
okay.
do better than the Browns. They don't finish last place, but they're just same old, very mid. So, but
Okay.
Tyler survives the bot. I already said it. I guarantee Slap last place.
Okay. So I guess if the panic meter was for Tyler to finish last, you would have him way higher, but
Yeah.
panic meter to have a good season is not good. All right, Cheese?
I'll put him in Cowboys tier. It's like
Okay.
I like the team. Like, my issue is that he's already played the easy part of the schedule. Like, there's a lot of tough matchups coming up for him.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
I think he can win
pretty
I think
tough.
he can win a couple of those, but you got to win a majority of those at this point.
All right. Interesting. All right, Tyler, I guess what is your level of panic for yourself?
I will say my team is also like Jacksonville. Looking bad, but
Okay.
there's potential given
Oh,
their
so you
past
think
performance.
Jacksonville could get it going here?
Well, they were what they started last year like really well,
And
and
then
they
they
just fell off a
faded.
cliff, and they're continuing to fall off a cliff this season.
Okay. But you think they could rebound?
Yes, the potential is there.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So there we have it. We will see what happens with these huge matchups. One thing about it, these standings will be shaken up when we have the show next week. With all these matchups and all these teams playing each other that are either tied on the same record or one game within, these standings will get shaken up. We'll catch you back here next week to find out what happens in all these big matchups.